6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
It's going to be a hot holiday weekend for the first weekend in July. What you can expect coming up.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, the CSRA celebrating Independence Day early with a big tradition at Fort Gordon. We'll take you there. Plus, presidential candidate Donald Trump headed to South Carolina. We have a live preview of the preparations. And later, it'll cost a little less than last year to host the July 4th cookout, while lawmakers say the relief is still not enough. Details as your number one source for local weekend morning news starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on Wjbf News Channel 6.
Hey, good morning, sunshine. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you. I'm Sean Cabbage-Stock. Coverage you can count on begins with the holiday travel rush and what's expected to be a record this weekend. Tens of millions of Americans are hitting the roads and the skies. Major airlines are trying to rebound after bad weather and staffing shortages.
I got up extra early so if there's any issues with TSA.
We got here early and we expected exactly what we're seeing.
Experts say if you're hitting the road, drivers will want to take today and go off before noon with the most congestion at around 1 p.m. And in case you need some help getting home safely after your 4th of July celebrations, AAA got you covered. They want to make sure you get home safely with this Tow-to-Go program. Just call 855-2-TOW-2-GO and you and your car will be towed to your home within a 10-mile radius. And you don't have to have AAA to use the service. A big Independence Day festival over at Fort Gordon is something many of y'all look forward to every year. Here's Nikita Dennis.
Many families came to Fort Gordon bringing in the 4th of July weekend with a big celebration.
I say it's our opportunity to open the gates for the entire CSRA. It's also our opportunity to thank the families and the service members that work here on Fort Gordon.
The Independence Day celebration at Fort Gordon is a family-oriented environment with fun for everyone. With plenty of live entertainment, food, and fireworks show, it's always a big hit with families.
Fort Gordon likes to give back to the community when we can. And when we say the community, the entire CSRA and even beyond, not just the Fort Gordon community. And the Independence Day celebration is one of the ways that we can do that.
Many soldiers brought their families on base to celebrate with them.
Being a drill sergeant, I don't get a lot of time, so just coming here to advance gives us time to bond again and get together and just relive our family life.
The Fort Gordon Morale Welfare and Recreation Program, along with community sponsors, organized the celebration, making sure it feels like home for those coming far away.
Me just being here, starting here, and everything, like all of this, being able to experience civilian world and military world together is kind of fun. There's a lot of new experience for me personally because I've never been out of Maryland, but it's nice.
To me, I just like to see like the families, y'all. That's all fun to me because I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, so it's a far drive. I can't see my family.
The soldiers also say it's always important to remember the meaning of Independence Day. In Fort Gordon, Nikita Dennis, WJBF, News Channel 6.
And local medical centers want to make sure you shoot off fireworks safely over the weekend. Each July 4th, thousands of people go to the hospital with fireworks-related injuries. There are some steps you can take to make sure you're not one of those ones spending the holiday in the hospital.
While it's a wonderful time to gather with friends and family and have a good time, we have to, consider safety for this weekend. And that's not necessarily just the fireworks that is commonly associated with the 4th of July, but also, grilling and cooking and all the things that potentially can cause thermal injuries from those activities as well.
Dr. Fagan says if you do suffer a burn, you can use lukewarm water and a light dressing until help arrives. Listeners of a local radio station will soon hear a different tune. WAAW Shout 94.7 FM will switch formats from gospel to sports starting Monday. The station's owner is set to retire and has leased the station to a company that will convert it to a 24-hour sports program. We talked to the general manager about the upcoming changes.
So with him ready to retire and not wanting to, have all of the things that come with managing a radio station, the opportunity presented itself.
And the current programming for the station ends tomorrow. Shout 94.7 will hold a drop-in party today from noon until 3. Meteorologist Sherry Sheely joins us now. Sherry, it's a muggy start to the morning.
It is muggy, it is hot, it is just downright yucky.
Yes.
But that's all right. We can deal with it. So it is the first day of July, and it is coming in with a bang, as it is going to be a very hot day. In fact, a Viper 6 alert day. But taking a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam, we have a bird there flying. But also check out how hazy it is. So you can see the sun there, but definitely have this layer of fog. And we're also seeing some effects from the wildfires in Canada still. Crazy, right? So visibility is extremely limited. So in Augusta, down to basically nothing, and surrounding areas about 4 miles. So definitely keep that in mind as you head out this morning. The other headline is the heat. So already in the 70s for most of us at this hour. 68 in Augusta, 70 in Aiken, 73 in Wrightsville. So it is setting up for a toasty day and also a muggy day. Relative humidity in the upper 90s, even 100% here in Augusta. And that's our big story, is the heat index. So when you factor in that humidity, so feeling a good bit warmer out there even at this hour. So another thing we need to be aware of is there is a heat advisory in effect through Monday. That's from Wilkes County down to Emmanuel, so all those counties there in Peach. But even if your area is not included, it's still going to be a hot one, so keep that in mind and stay safe this weekend. Temperature is going to be in those 90s by lunchtime and topping out in the upper 90s. So your headlines is definitely the heat, the humidity, and we'll discuss all the details of this Viper 6 alert weekend coming up. Back to you, Sean.
All right, Sherry, thank you. Nearly a year after a young man was killed in Denmark, South Carolina, his family is still grieving. More now on the family's pre-foreclosure.
It changed my life. Sometimes I feel like I'm dead on the inside. I feel like I'm viewing myself in third person.
20-year-old Tony Tyrese Nimmons, also known as TT, graduated with honors from high school and college. He played varsity basketball for 2 high schools. The number 5, significant to him.
My daughter was that number, and my dad, but not no one.
On September 28, 2022, he was discovered dead in a vehicle at the intersection of Plum Alley and Perkins Street with at least 1 gunshot wound.
So it happened here or there. My son's car was either pushed in that over there, under that tree. That's where my son's car was, pushed over there. He was left in the car, dead, over on that side of the street.
The family of Nimmons is deeply concerned about the lack of investigation surrounding his death. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is handling the case.
So, I'm in the dark on it right now.
They believe his death deserves justice. They added that his life changed for the better, embracing family and faith and leaving his unborn son behind.
And I knew that he was going to be a great dad. And I was behind his back 100%. Now I'm here. I'm going to take care of my grandson. I'm going to do whatever it takes.
The family now seeks closure. They're calling for a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding his death. They hope by sharing his story, others can learn from it, and systemic issues can be addressed.
And here's the thing about it. The same kids are doing the same thing. They go down for a few days, back on the streets.
And of course, contact authorities if you know anything. The July 4th drive-through barbecue is happening at Liberty Park in Grovetown. It starts at 11, and it will start at the gated entrance on Lakeview Drive, and then you will drive through Liberty Park to receive your barbecue plates. Then you will exit via the main entrance on Newmanton Road. Several portable toilets and stuff like that will be on site throughout the route for your convenience, and we do have a map for the parade route on Wjbf.com. Donald Trump is in South Carolina campaigning. We'll see the preparations live.
Black X.
It's Whataburger's huge 4th of July sale going on right now.
It's bigger than ever. More top quality, famous name brand furniture and accessories at sale prices way too low to mention.
Save store-wide dining room, bedroom, mattresses, living room, home office, rugs, and accessories, all up to 50% off. No minimum purchase required.
Can you save big during the 4th of July sale going on at Weinberger's Furniture? Yes, you can.
If you've been
for a DUI in Georgia, you may only have 30 days to protect your license or your privilege to drive here. Hi, I'm Tiffany Duncan of DUI Duncan, the DUI firm here in Augusta. Visit our website at DUIDuncan.com to see what we've done to help so many drivers. If you've been arrested for a DUI in Georgia, call me now for a free consultation. While the firm, of course, cannot guarantee results, we do guarantee hard work and fast action.
Remember the name, DUI Duncan.
Blood donation never looks so good. Hi, I'm Mary Morrison. Mark your calendars for the 2023 Nike EYBL Peach Jam. It's July 3rd through the 9th at Riverview Park Activity Center in North Augusta. Some of the best high school athletes will be there, along with coaches from many colleges, plus families and friends. If you're a member of Riverview, you'll be able to use the Family Y of North Augusta during the Peach Jam. And your events, log on to WJBF.com, keyword community calendar.
Judge Mathis, weekday afternoons at 3 on News Channel 6.
Time do you anticipate? Oh crap. Okay, that's fine. All right, just talk to her and talk to her IFB and let us know. That'd be fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. He's gonna do weather first and then you. All right. Thank you, Sean. You still there? They were seeing the Biltmore stage instead of our show.
Well, I can't hear anything yet from them.
Yeah, it's because they're in break.
No, I can't.
The anchor is the producer. So
So it wasn't my last
and the
station.
desk.
I was our weekend anchor, and
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
all right, an exciting weekend coming up for us. It's the first weekend in July, a holiday weekend, and we're starting off with some muggy conditions and lots of fog here. So looking at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at Augusta Marriott, you can see just this hazy view, and some of that is some low-level fog, but also, believe it or not, we are seeing some effects from those wildfires in Canada still. So definitely a muggy, hazy, foggy start to the day, but it is warm. So 68 degrees, calm winds, but visibility is definitely an issue, especially here in downtown Augusta, and surrounding areas are seeing the effects of that as well. Temperature-wise, that is the story for the weekend, is it's going to be hot, hot, hot. So 68 here currently, but check it out across the southeast, already temperatures in those 70s and 80s. At this hour. A little crazy, right? But it is the 1st of July, but we are under a heat alert. So you can see we've got this high pressure system just over Mississippi that's really causing this ridging of hot air moving into our area. So all these areas in peach here are under a heat advisory, and that does include several counties in the CSRA. So it is going to be a hot one, and even if you're not included in that advisory, you're not going to be excluded from the heat. So our farmers forecast looking good as far as drought conditions are concerned, as it has been a very wet year. So year to date, over 32 inches of rain, but definitely the heat is a concern today. Anyone with livestock or outdoor animals, make sure they've got plenty of water and shelter from this heat, because it is going to be hot, hot, hot. It is a Viper 6 alert weekend, mainly for the heat for both Saturday and Sunday. So air temperatures in those mid to upper 90s. If that's not enough, once you factor in the humidity, we're looking at heat indice values in the triple digits. So it's getting dangerously hot. Yes, we're used to it down here with the heat, but this is the hottest weekend of the year so far. So just want to make sure you're weather aware, as it's been a pretty mild spring. So some tips to keep in mind for the heat: definitely want to stay indoors if at all possible and then soak up that AC, but it is a holiday weekend, so I know we have lots of outdoor plans. So just make sure you remain hydrated by drinking lots of water, or maybe even stay by the water or in the water to stay cool. And definitely check on the elderly and the children and your pets as well to make sure they've got shelter and water. And if you do have to go outdoors, definitely want to take advantage of these early morning hours where it's the coolest part of the day, and wear light clothing, colored clothing, and of course, sunscreen if you're out in the sun. So let's look at the futurecast of what we can expect. I've got the air temperatures on here. So this morning at 10 o'clock, already in those 80s. We'll see mostly sunny skies for the most part today, but as we get into those afternoon hours, we'll see some spotty clouds go in there, but check out the temperatures in the 90s already at 3 o'clock. So we move into the afternoon, still in the 80s, but we're keeping an eye on this system here. It's looking like it's going to stay to our west, but definitely a chance of some isolated showers and storms this afternoon and into the evening hours. That will continue overnight and into the early morning hours of Sunday. But the heat is the main thing we can count on for the whole weekend. So it is a holiday weekend, and it's a Viper 6 alert weekend for those high heat values and also the heat indices. So it's going to be a hot one, guys. So stay safe and stay hydrated and stay cool. So we've got 90s all across the board, but the good news is, as we move into next week, it's looking a little more like average with temperatures in those low to mid 90s. But again, just a hot weekend for us on tap. That's your forecast, and we'll be right back.
Your accident was caused Monday at Gerald Jones Volkswagen.
Say I do with Tiffany Bloom. We pride ourselves on providing a special stress-free experience for our brides. A luxurious boutique is the perfect place to help you find the dress of your dreams with comfortable seating, refreshments, and treats at your disposal. With our signature experience, you and up to 5 guests will have a personal stylist who will listen to your vision, offer suggestions and advice, and help you find the perfect dress for your big day. Give us a call or go online and book now. We can't wait to make your bridal dreams come true.
There's nothing little possible.
News Channel 6 is your local election headquarters. Former President Donald Trump will be in Pickens, South Carolina today, rallying with supporters. Taylor Farmer is already there, and she joins us live with more. Taylor, good morning.
Good morning. We're here on Main Street in Pickens, where former President Donald Trump will rally with supporters today. Over 30,000 people are expected to be in attendance from all over the country. Take a look here at the crowd that is already formed. Now, we were here just before 4 o'clock this morning, and people were already out here. We're told the line started as early as yesterday afternoon. Of course, people have on their Trump hats, their Trump t-shirts, flags. A couple of chants have already started. Some vendors are set up, and the line is so long now you can't even see the end of it. Trump will speak at 1 o'clock today, and a few state leaders will also speak before him, including South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham and Governor Henry McMaster. Gates will not actually open until 9 a.m., and there will be security checkpoints, much like going through TSA at the airport. Federal, state, and local law enforcement have been working together for several weeks to make sure everyone stays safe throughout today's events. While Trump's rally is the main event, there are other 4th of July festivities happening throughout the day. A 5K race starts at 8 a.m. and a 4th of July celebration will follow with fireworks later tonight.
It is patriotic. It's awesome. It's like nothing it's about like going to a football game and everybody rooting for the same team.
Now we can expect that this will be the calmest part of the day. Of course, more people are going to start showing up, and the gates open at 9 a.m. People will start flowing in. For now, live in Pickens, Taylor Farmer.
All right, Taylor, thank you so much. Time to take a look at what's trending. A board game is hitting stores this fall, and it's a combination of 2 classics, Monopoly and Scrabble. They're joining forces, allowing players to buy property and dig deep into their vocabulary all in one sitting. So instead of rolling the die during your turn, you will build a word and then use the score for that word to move the same number of spaces on the Monopoly board. The game ends when the last letter tiled is played, and the player with the highest total amounts of assets is declared the winner. Check this one out. A handbag turned out to be pretty expensive considering how useless it is. This bright green bag is actually based on a popular Louis Vuitton design that sells for about $4,000, but this one is too small to be a knockoff. It's so tiny that it's actually microscopic. The designer says it's small enough to pass through the eye of a needle, and someone still bought it at an auction for $63,000. I bet it was Sherry. Coming up on Good Morning Augusta, we'll talk more about the student loan plan as well as what President Biden says he's planning to do about it. That's coming up, but first let's send to New York, where the ABC News team is standing by with a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America. Good Saturday morning.
And good morning.
From Lionel Smith Limited. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
It's a Viper 6 alert day as we're tracking warm temperatures and some isolated afternoon thunderstorms. I have all the details for you coming up.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, Independence Day is coming up. What the price tag could look like for your celebration. Plus, the ultimate basketball showdown. The highly anticipated Nike Peach Jam returns to the CSRA. And later, celebrating Black excellence, we'll introduce you to our next recipient of the Mary L. Jones Black Affirmation Award. Details as your #1 source for local weekend morning news starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is Good Morning Augusta on WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, good morning, sunshine. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you. I'm Sean Cabbage-Stock. It's a Viper 6 alert day. We start off with Sherry Sheely. She leads us off this morning. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning, Sean, and good morning to y'all. It is going to be another hot one for us. It is a Viper 6 alert day, as it's going to be hot and muggy, and also we're tracking some storms that may move through later on this afternoon into the evening hours. But right now, it's a beautiful morning looking at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at AU Health. Nice little sunrise there, but some clouds that, in the sky, but it makes for a pretty sunrise, right? Satellite and radar does show those clouds moving through, but they're all light, wispy, fair weather clouds, so nothing to worry about there. In fact, sometimes the clouds are a nice little break from the sun when it's so hot outside. Current winds, though, nice and calm, so not any nice cool breezes there for us to expect today. Temperature-wise, we've already got some toasty temperatures on the board. 74 in Augusta, 75 in Waynesboro, 73 in Thompson. So at the 7 o'clock hour, that is pretty warm there for us, and that is just the start of a nice, warm, and muggy day. Look at these humidity values all in the upper 90s, even at 100%, including in areas like Barnwell County. So what does that mean for us? Well, on our outdoor comfort meter, we are at a 1, which is the first time I've seen that this year. So it is about as muggy as it can be out there, so very sticky, and if you walked out the door this morning, it just kind of hits you in the face. It's yucky. But when you factor in that humidity, that also means it feels warmer outside. So even at this hour in the morning, it feels a few degrees warmer than the air temperature. So we are included, everyone across the board. Remember, yesterday it was just the westernmost counties, but today we're all included in that heat advisory that's in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. So keep in mind, it is going to be warm, it's going to be muggy, and you need to stay safe and hydrated. And today is just the start. So we've got high heat indice values for the next several days. So definitely drink plenty of water, maybe be by the water, be in the water, and stay cool as you celebrate this weekend. So it is a Viper 6 alert weekend. So that continues throughout the day today with high temperatures in the 90s and that heat advisory in effect until 8 o'clock tonight, and also some storms that we're tracking. I'll have all the details on what you can expect for the rest of your 4th of July weekend and beyond coming up. Back to you, Sean.
All right, Sherry, thank you. And it is going to be a hot one today, so it's important to stay cool and hydrated. It can be tough being outside, even for a short while. That's why local leaders are opening up cooling shelters around the area. There are 11 centers in Richmond County alone.
Need is not just centralized to one area in Richmond County. I think we get that, misunderstood from time to time. Regardless of where you live in Augusta, Richmond County, you ought to have opportunity to the services that you need. And you'll be surprised at the amount of people who don't have air conditioning in their home.
And you can find a list of the cooling centers and their hours on our website, WJBF.com. They include the following: Carrie J. Mays, Bernie Ward, Blythe, Brigham, McBean, Sandhills, Johnson, and Warren Road Centers, and also May Park and Diamond Lakes. If you're in Aiken, there are locations there too. The Leslie B. Price Senior and Youth Center, Smith Hazel, and Odell Weeks Recreation Centers. Those locations will be open Monday through Saturday from 9 until 5 and Sunday from 1 until 5. What's more patriotic than a good old cookout followed by some fireworks? Well, be prepared though. You'll likely be paying more this year for some of those celebrations. If you're stocking up on food and firecrackers, you're not alone, but a lot of budgets for the holidays weren't what they used to be. It's the busiest week of the year for Lanier's Meat Market. The owner says the cost of beef is higher because of inflation and supply and demand, but they still have some good deals. Over at Wacky Wayne's in North Augusta, fireworks are a little more expensive this year due to shipment costs, but the owner says they try to keep those prices as low as they can.
I've noticed a big price difference. The stuff I'm buying here for $140 used to be $100, and that was the last couple years ago. So inflation's hitting not only everything we have, but it's also hitting the fireworks for fun.
And despite having to pay a little extra this year, people say it's worth it when it comes to spending time with family and friends. And if you're planning to shoot off those fireworks, there are some rules and parts of the CSRA. We have that information on our website and our mobile app. For some people with sensory issues, fireworks can be challenging. The sudden and intense sounds of fireworks, along with the bright flashing lights, can overwhelm their sensory system, causing discomfort, anxiety, and even physical pain.
You might want to have sunglasses for the bright lights or ear defenders, for the loud sounds. Crowds, stay to the periphery if you can. And, hold on.
And for some families, Lars says it's best just to camp out at home and offer your loved ones with autism support where you can. Breaking into our newsroom, police in Baltimore say 2 people were killed and 30 victims were wounded in a mass shooting that includes 3 who are in critical condition. The Baltimore Police Department says the shooting took place early this morning. The acting commissioner, he confirmed the number of dead and injured. Closer to home, former President Donald Trump made a campaign stop in Pickens, South Carolina. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster and Senator Lindsey Graham introduced Trump, welcoming him to the Palmetto State and showing their support for him in the 2024 election. Trump addressed recent topics like affirmative action and Biden's student loan plan. He also called out the FBI and the Department of Justice for his criminal prosecution.
What I do legally. In other words, whatever documents the president decides to take with him, he has the absolute right to do so.
The rally was one of the largest events for Pickens, a city with a population of more than 3,000. Officials estimated 2,000 people attended. After 30 years of touching lives here in the CSRA, an iconic radio station is closing its doors. WAAW Shout 94.7, founded by legendary James Brown, went beyond music, becoming a faith-based inspiration for the community. From its R&B roots, the ministry, music, and talk radio show format connected with listeners on a deeper level. As the station bids farewell, it hosted a special event to allow the public to say their goodbyes.
As I continue to say, the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. So as long as we continue to root ourselves in positivity, positive things will follow us.
And starting Monday, WAAW Shout 94.7 FM will switch formats, transitioning from gospel to sports. Also on Monday, the annual Nike Beach Jam basketball tournament is back at Riverview Park in North Augusta. The event is from July 3rd through 9th. It will serve as the finals for the Nike EYBL's top 84 teams. Over the week, the Nike Peach Jam is estimated to bring in about 10,000 visitors. That's between athletes, spectators, and families. Tickets will be sold at the door on the day of the event, and only cash will be accepted. A community event is coming to the CSRA to help students prepare for the upcoming school year. Marquita Rucker joins us to talk about the Mega Back to School Bash.
Black Excellence.
Live life comfortably.
Hey there, welcome back. Before you know it, school will be back in session. And to get you ready, a back to school mega block party is coming to the CSRA. Marquita Rucker, the founder of SWAT, is here to talk about this event. Marquita, it's great to see you again.
Thank you, Sean, for having me. It's always good to be on the red couch.
Okay, I like that. So let's get right to it. It's July 29th. The venue is going to be on Broad Street. What can folks expect?
Well, for the past 5 years, I've been a wraparound service facilitator with Richmond County school system. And what we did, we provided wraparound service to make sure children had what they needed to be academically successful outside of the classroom. And now I want to bring those elements into our back to school events. So in addition to providing school supplies for families, we're going to be providing haircuts, basic hairstyles. We're going to be providing vaccinations and ear and eye and dental screenings, all of those things that keep children from being successful. We want to be a one-stop shop for families.
What groups are you working with?
So currently, we're working with groups such as Augusta Partnership for Children, Care Source, the Pinned Up Photographer. We're working with Publix. We're working with Georgia. Working with Georgia Lifeline. We have about 36 community partners that we're currently working with, but we want to get to 100. So we're urging other people in the community who have back to school events not to plan your own, but to partner with us.
I like that. So, what's the time and the location? Because I have the venues on Broad Street, but what's the building name?
So currently the event is going to be July the 29th from 11 to 2. Right now it's tentatively scheduled to be at the Salvation Army Croc Center, but because we're trying to serve about 5,000 youth, we're looking for a building that may have adequate space to hold all the services that we're trying to provide and all
Maybe
the
like the
people.
James Brown.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Put that plug out
So
there.
maybe we can get that done, huh?
Yes.
So after this bash is over, what's going to be next for you and your group?
So after this bash is over, we want to follow up with the people who actually been here because we want to make sure that we're impactful. This event is a hand up and not a handout. We want to make sure that the people that we serve actually got what they needed. So once we end with the back to school bash at the end of summer, we're going to be working on serving them again in January because we're going to refill those backpacks that we gave them in the summer.
Wow. And why did you want to do something like this?
Well, for two reasons. One, I was a teacher for a couple of years with Richmond County School System, and I saw firsthand how detrimental it can be to a child's self-esteem when they come to school without what they need. It definitely makes an impact when they don't have the tools they need to be successful.
How did that make you feel personally when you saw that?
It's heartbreaking personally when you see kids come to school and they can't live up to their full potential because they don't have the tools that they need. But most importantly, I've been the parent that's been in these lines. I've been the parent that actually needed the school supplies, the health screening, so I know how important it is that the community get together and continue providing these services.
I like it. If folks want to reach out to you, social media, telephone number, things of that nature, how can they reach out to you?
We need them. We need your donations. we need your help. So if they want to get in touch with us, they can email us at swatfoundationinc@gmail.com. They can call us at 706-840-6596 or come and see us at the 600 building.
Okay, I like it. Anything else you like to add while I'm
I want to add that this event is not about SWAT Foundation. It's not about Marquita Rucker. This event is about serving the community. It's called the CSRA Mega Back to School Bash. It's a community initiative. So we're operating as one to serve the community. It's not about getting the credit. It's about being impactful.
I like it. Marquita Rucker, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you'll come back too.
I sure will.
All right, sounds good to me. Thank you. And we'll be right back.
Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys. This is a WJBF Live Viper 6 alert.
So yesterday was nice and toasty, and we're going to wash and repeat and do the same thing again today, as it is another Viper 6 alert day for a hot, humid day with some storms that may move in later on this evening. But for today, this morning, starting off pretty nice. Looking at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam where the birds are flying, and we've also got some clouds in the sky and a little bit of low-level fog, so visibility is a little limited here in Augusta, so down to 2 miles. But that humidity, though, at 97%. And the temps are nice and toasty, feeling like 75 degrees, and no nice light breeze to speak of, as winds are pretty much non-existent here for us. But temperatures across the southeast, it's warm all across the board, from the upper 70s, from the Carolina coast, all the way back to the 80s in Texas. So it is hot all across the board. And we do have some heat alerts to notify you of. So we've been talking about the heat advisories that were mainly to our west, but as of today, the whole CSRA and most of the Carolinas and Georgia are included in that heat alert that's effective from noon today until 8 o'clock tonight. So what does that mean? That means heat indice values will be up to 110 degrees. So some dangerous heat values that we're tracking there. And that's thanks to this high pressure that's just in the Gulf that's just bringing up some ridging and some hot weather for us. So please keep that in mind as you make your plans for today. I know it's a holiday weekend, lots of outdoor plans, but some safety tips to keep in mind. Of course, you want to be inside and in the AC as much as possible, but if you must go outdoors, make sure you're staying hydrated, wear loose-fitting clothing in light colors, and of course, check on your neighbors and your pets. Make sure they have adequate shelter and water as well to keep everybody safe throughout this weekend. Our farmers forecast, nothing to speak of here as far as drought. In fact, Screven County is included still in a flood warning, so no worries there. But of course, the heat does affect our farmers with the livestock and crops as well. And we do have a 30% chance of rain today, so hopefully that rain will help out our farmers and cool us off a bit. But yesterday we did pick up a little bit of rain, so about 0.08 of an inch. But check it out, we hit a high temperature of 95 degrees. Nothing record-setting, but certainly above average for us. Our rain chances for the next several days looking pretty good. So today's actually the lowest chance for the next several days. But all of this kind of in that typical summertime pattern of afternoon rain and thunderstorms to speak of. So that's kind of the pattern for the next several days is heat and afternoon storms. But for the next 48 hours, taking a look here closer to home, we've got some clouds in the area this morning, just some fair weather clouds. We'll see mostly sunny skies today, but we do have some scattered showers and sprinkles that we might see in the afternoon hours, but as you can see, it's very scattered, very isolated in nature. So again, mostly sunshine for your day on Sunday. That will continue throughout the afternoon hours. But as we get into those late evening hours, that's when we're starting to track some of these storms moving in the area. But the good news, it looks like it's going to be around midnight and throughout the overnight hours, so shouldn't really affect any plans. Just some good sleeping weather with some rain on the roof, but then by the morning commute on Monday, we'll see some clearing, and then again, kind of wash and repeat Monday afternoon, another wave moving through, more of a widespread event in the afternoon on Monday, and then again, clearing Monday night, and it's looking like kind of the same pattern for Tuesday for Independence Day as well, which I know is not great for the fireworks forecast, but we'll wait and see what happens. So our feels like meter, if the heat is not enough, we've got air temperatures up to 96, but when you factor in that humidity, today we're looking at real feel temperatures around 107. So for the rest of your holiday weekend, it's going to be nice and toasty in those mid to upper 90s, and again, just a chance of afternoon thunderstorms each day. That 10-day forecast, kind of the extension of this weekend, temperatures in the 90s, afternoon thunderstorms, but the good news, we will get a little break from the heat, if you call, lower 90s, a break from the heat, but a little bit cooler and more like average temperatures for this time of year.
Okay, let me make sure I have it correct. So, hot, humid, and chance of showers.
You got it.
Typical summer.
Typical summer, yes.
Thank you, Sherry. Well, coming up, Twitter users got quite the surprise. What's trending is next.
Celebrate Ashley.
Hey there, welcome back. Time to take a look at what's trending. So, some new restrictions have sent the Twitterverse into a frenzy. Unregistered lurkers will no longer be able to view tweets without being logged into an account. The company owner, Elon Musk, called the move a temporary emergency measure to deter third-party data scraping. He also announced temporary limits on the number of tweets users are able to read. Verified accounts are limited to 10,000 posts per day, while unverified folks are limited to 1,000 posts a day.
10,000 posts?
Yeah, 10,000. That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, you might need to go find some other activities. You got time to read 10,000 posts.
But maybe it's breaking news because folks use it for breaking news. Breaking
That's
news
a
or
lot,
whatever.
Sean.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And a lot of folks are saying RIP Twitter. Yeah.
Well, I'm not part of the Twitterverse. So
yeah, you've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm a little mad because my blue check mark was taken away from me, so. But I'm just there for breaking
news. You got all that money, don't you?
You're the one who has all the money, friend. Well, coming up on Good Morning Augusta, air travel already breaking records this holiday weekend. For many, the trip hasn't been easy. That's coming up. But first, let's head to New York, where Gio Benitez is standing by with a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America. Good morning.